What's up, everybody? My name is Ben, and today we're going to go over how to scan film at home. In the digital age, we share our photos over social media instead of flipping through photo albums. But how do we take an analog medium like film and make it digital so that we can share it? One option is to have your film developed by a lab. But if you're anything like me, you'll want to do it yourself. To be honest, I don't have the patience to wait to see my images, and if I mess them up, I'd rather it be my fault than someone at a lab. To scan film at home, you could buy a scanner, but if you're already into digital photography, you likely have a DSLR or mirrorless camera that you can use to scan your film. I personally like using my digital camera, and I've been getting great results. Today, I'll walk you through my semi-professional setup as well as a more budget-friendly option. Let's start with my current setup. For the best results, you'll want to do this in a dark room to prevent any light from reflecting off the top of your film. For my setup, I'm using the negative supply kit and a Fujifilm X-T5 with a 60mm macro lens. The macro lens allows me to get much closer to my film and capture a larger scan. The light source from negative supply is very high quality, providing an even light distribution across the entire film plane. This kit also includes a camera stand that keeps your camera level with the film, and a film carrier that holds your film flat so that you can slide it through for quick scans. Since we want as much data as possible, you want to shoot in RAW. I also put my camera in HDR mode for some extra detail. This will give you the most data to work with in post-processing. Next, set your camera to its native ISO for minimal noise. For example, the X-T5, it's 125. Then, switch your lens to manual focus to ensure that every shot is sharp. Next, set your aperture to f11. By setting our aperture to f11, we'll prevent soft edges around our scan. Take a look at these two unedited images. The image on the left was shot at 2.4, whereas the other was shot at 11. You can see that there is a vignette around the edges, and only the center of the frame is sharp, whereas the image taken at f11 is sharp and evenly exposed. Once your camera is set up and ready to go, you can attach it to the stand by using the Allen key in the top of your stand. Insert the Allen key into the slat and tighten the screw into the bottom of your camera. Finally, you are ready to slide your film into the film holder and compose your scan. Be sure that your focus is sharp and you are filling as much of the frame as possible. The key to a good scan is to have a well-exposed image. This is where the histogram comes in handy. You'll want your histogram to be within the brackets as much as possible. If you are peeking towards the right, your image will be overexposed. And if you're peeking towards the left, your image will be underexposed. Be sure to keep the histogram in the middle to ensure a proper exposure. Since we are shooting with a tight aperture and a low ISO, your shutter speed will need to be rather slow. This means you will need to use a timer on your camera or a remote shutter to avoid any movement during your shot. Many cameras have an app that can be used as a remote shutter. One thing I like about the Fujifilm cameras is that there is an app that you can use, or you can even go old school and use a cable release directly to the shutter button. When I first started scanning film, I experimented with a handful of budget setups and found that this one worked best for the price. I used camera equipment that I already had, which was an X-T5 with a 16 to 80mm lens, my tripod, and then I purchased an inexpensive light table with magnetic clips from Amazon. First, you flip the column of your tripod upside down and place it on the table. Then, attach your camera to the tripod. Then, you'll place the light table directly underneath your camera and begin shooting. The downside of this setup is that the lens and light table aren't ideal. Since this isn't a dedicated macro lens, I can't fill the frame with as much of the negative as I would like. Plus, these light tables can produce uneven lighting, which can show up in your scans. This method also takes longer because you have to pin down each frame individually, which can be time-consuming. Once you've scanned all of your negatives, you can edit them in the editing software of your choice. Personally, I use Lightroom. If you'd like a tutorial to see on how I do it, feel free to check the video in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to support this channel, please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified when new videos go live. If you're interested in seeing more, feel free to check out any of my other videos. Have a good one, and I hope to see you in the next video.